Okay, so we are going to do some practice today with telling time to the hour and half hour, since that's what we've been talking about this week. So we're going to work in our dynamic classroom that we use with our math book. So it says, let's explore telling time to the hour and half hour. All right, so it wants us to complete the sentence. All right, so just review real quick. The hour hand is which hand? Is it this hand or is it this hand? Remember the trick I taught you. The words hour and minute go along with the hands. So think about which word is shorter, hour or minute. Well, minute is the shorter word and it is the shorter hand. You're right. So this is our hour hand and this is our minute hand, and minute is the longer word. All right, so it says complete the sentence. The hour hand points to the what? All right, so we're going to come up at this clock, and remember, we just said that this is the hour hand. So what number is the hour hand pointing to? All right, if you said 2, you are correct. So we're going to type in 2 right here, and we're going to check and see if we're right. Ta-da! We are right. All right, so now it wants us to look at the minute hand. Remember, we just said that the minute hand is this one. It is the longer hand. Well, what number is the minute hand pointing to? If you said 12, you are correct. So we are going to put 12 in here and check our answer. Ta-da! We are correct. All right, now it wants me to tell what time it is. All right, so we've worked on this. We said the hour hand shows us exactly what its name says. It shows us what hour it is. And remember what I said yesterday. When the minute hand is pointing straight up at the 12, what does that mean? All right, if you said that that means that it is something o'clock, you are correct. So when our when our minute hand points straight up, it means that it is something o'clock. So right now it is 2 o'clock. So we're going to type that in here and check our answer. We are correct. All right, so look at this clock for me. Does everyone see that this clock says 2 o'clock? Thumbs up. I hope we're good. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's look at this one. It says complete the sentence. All right, once again, remember, our hour hand is our shorter hand. Our minute hand is our longer hand. All right, now remember, we also talked about that hour hand is pointing halfway between the 2 and the 3. All right, so we just answered this question. The hour hand points halfway between the 2 and the 3. But does that mean it has gotten all the way to this 3 yet? No, it is still in here with the 2. Let me take our pen and show you that. It is still in our 2. It has not gotten to our 3 yet. So let's make our 3 a different color. All right, does everybody see that? The 2 goes from here to here, so that's our blue line. Our 3 goes from here to here, and that's our green line. So if you think about it that way, the hour hand is still pointing where it's blue, so it's still pointing in the 2. So it is still technically 2 something. So the hour points halfway between the 2 and the 3. All right? Now, where is our minute hand pointing? All right, well, I can actually erase my lines here because we don't need those right now. All right, where is my minute hand pointing? All right, well, remember, this is my hour hand. It's pointing halfway between the 2 and the 3. My minute hand is now pointing where? My minute hand is now pointing to the 6, which means my minute hand started up here and it went all the way to here, which means it went what? Did it go all the way around the clock? No, it went halfway around the clock. So our minute hand is pointing at what? It is pointing at the 6. Let's check our answer. We are correct. All right, now, just like I just talked about, it wants to know it is half past what? All right. So like I said, the hour hand is halfway between what two numbers? All right. Well, it is between our 2 and our 3 right now. But like I said, has it gotten all the way to our 3 yet? All right, it is not to our 3 yet. It is still in that blue. It is between the 2 and the 3. So we call that half past 2 because it is halfway between the 2 and the 3. So I'm going to type 2 in here. Check my answer. And we are correct. All right. All right, so let's do some practice now that we've reviewed a little. All right, it says select the time. So let's look. Which hand is which? Remember, our hour hand is the shorter hand, and our minute hand is the longer hand. All right, so our hour hand is pointing at what number? Our hour hand is pointing at the 7, and our minute hand is pointing straight up at the 12. So remember, what does it tell you if the minute hand is pointing straight up at the 12? Does that mean it's 7 o'clock? Does it mean it's half past 7? Or does it mean it's half past 12? Well, I know that when the hour hand is pointing at the 7 and the minute hand is pointing at the 12, that it is 7 o'clock. Let's move on. All right, remember again, my hour hand is pointing directly at the 2, and my minute hand is pointing straight up to my 12. What does it mean when my hour hand is directly on one number and my minute hand is pointing straight up at the 12? Does it mean it's 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or half past 2? Well, I know when my hour hand is pointing straight at the 2 and my minute hand is pointing straight up, it is 2 o'clock. All right, now, let's take a look at this clock. I'm looking at my hour hand. My hour hand is not pointing straight at a number. What is it doing? My hour hand is in between. It's halfway in between my 9 and my 10. So now I need to take a look at my minute hand and see what it's doing. I notice that my minute hand is pointing straight down at the 6. So it has gone halfway around the clock. So because it's in between my 9 and my 10, what does that mean? Does that mean it's 6 o'clock, half past 9, or 9 o'clock? Well, I know that when my hour hand is halfway in between my 9 and my 10, and my minute hand is pointing straight down, that means it is half past 9 because my minute hand has gone halfway around the clock and my hour hand is halfway between my 9 and my 10. All right, let's try one more. All right, so I'm going to take a look at my hour and my minute hand. My hour hand is not pointing straight at a number. It is pointing halfway between what two numbers? It is pointing halfway between the 12 and the 1. But remember, it hasn't gotten all the way to the 1 yet. I'm looking at my minute hand, and my minute hand is pointing straight down at the 6. So that means it's gone halfway around the clock. All right, so let's take a look at our answer choices. Is it 6 o'clock, half past 12, or half past 6? All right, well, first thing I got to do is I got to look at my hour hand. My hour hand is halfway between the 12 and the 1. My minute hand has gone halfway around the clock. So I know when my minute hand is halfway around and my hour hand is halfway between 12 and 1, it is half past 12. All right, guys, I hope we are doing okay with time. We've now gone over time to the hour, time to the half hour, and today we mixed the two. Remember, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thanks, guys.